Welcome to MarketSquare, your go-to show for deep insights into business and economic trends. I'm Olaitan Adebayo, and with me is...
Olaitan.
Together, we'll break down the key facts, trends, and developments shaping the Nigerian market. Stay tuned. Welcome back to MarketSquare. The Central Bank of Nigeria has introduced new guidelines aimed at enhancing credit reporting standards among commercial banks. This move marks a significant step in promoting transparency, consistency, and responsible loan management within the Nigerian banking sector. The decision follows findings from the recent on-site examinations by the Apex Bank, which revealed troubling inconsistencies. Credit printout provided by some banks reportedly did not align with customers' files and previous examination records. Key loan parameters appear to shift from one examination cycle to another, raising red flags over the accuracy and reliability of the credit data being submitted. While the CBN had already provided a framework through its prudential guidelines for deposit money banks in Nigeria, last updated in July 2010, the discrepancies observed during the inspections prompted the need for additional requirements to standardize how credit information is being presented. Now, Olaitan, what do you think about this whole situation?
Okay, think about it like this. When you go to bank to ask for loan, they check your financial records to decide if you're trustworthy. Now imagine if those records are all over the place. You know, the file says you owe money, another says you're debt free, and the third doesn't even mention the loan at all. That would be confusing, right?
Sure.
Now, for banks, keeping clean and consistent credit data is absolutely crucial. You know, it helps them access risks properly, avoid bad loans, and also stay compliant with the rules set by the Central Bank of Nigeria. Now, if they continue to submit inconsistent data, it damages their credibility, both to regulators and customers. Worse still, now, you know, this can actually go to the extreme. It can now lead to penalties, fines, or restriction, and in serious cases, even cause the loss of the license. And when a bank can't prove that a customer has paid off a loan, especially if that loan disappears from the report, that raises a big red flag. It could mean they are hiding losses, inflating performance, or just being careless, and that's dangerous in the world of finance.
But looking at it, that like aside from all this, the fact that they meant a lot of things in their when they went for the on-site examination, the most thing is okay. Fine. The last time they updated this was in 2010. That's 15 years to this time. Actually, it raises a lot of questions. That okay, fine. Why wasn't it updated yearly, like every year and every year? But there are some factors that could have caused this, because when looking at it, it's a complex situation. For them to update it yearly, they need a thorough examination. They need to know that okay, fine, if these banks are actually implementing this rule correctly, and also monitor the impact on it on the financial system. And while also looking at it, the impact it will have on the banks, because if you keep changing the guidelines every time, it creates instability in the bank system, because bank needs time to adapt to new rules. And when we bring it down to the borrowers, people that are borrowing money, like now imagine somebody that okay fine, the requirement for this year is quite different from the one last year. It's going to create a lot of confusion, making it hard for them to like understand and comply to this regulation. I feel for the government, like, so now for the federal government, for this CBN to not like update this thing annually, it means they're trying to strike a balance between updating it and also like managing the disruptions in the financial system.
All right. Following the approval of a 50% tariff increase by the Nigerian Communication Commission, telecom operators in the country are beginning to feel the pressure with a noticeable drop in customer numbers. Recent data from the NCC shows that internet service providers are bearing the brunt of the impact, recording the highest rate of customer loss. Meanwhile, mobile network operators have maintained relatively stable internet subscription figures, suggesting stronger customer retention in that segment. Specifically, the NCC report that active subscribers across 127 ISPs declined from 307,946 in quarter 3 2024 to 289,369 in quarter 1 2025. This represents a significant reduction as users respond to the new pricing structure. All major ISPs experienced a drop in their customer base during this period, reflecting Nigeria's sensitivity to rising costs and the broader implication of increased tariffs on internet accessibility and usage. The trend signals a growing concern for affordability and digital inclusion in the face of economic challenges. So while talking about this, we know the ISPs are Starlinks, and then the mobile network are like these MTN that we make use of. Why do you think there's a decline? Because I feel like they still pay the same amount of money. So why are people moving from ISPs to mobile network
Okay, let's say
providers?
to begin with, they have higher prices, and with the tariff hike, their services even become more pricier. And coupled with the fact that they have other requirements, that's hardware installation, hardware maintenance, like the equipment maintenance, and reliable power supply. This is causing people, as a result, many people are moving from this to the mobile network because it offers flexible data plan. Because when you're using the mobile data plan now, you can do your daily plan, you can do your weekly plan, you can do your monthly plan. It depends on your budget and all of that.
Sure.
But with with the ISPs, you can do something like that. And like recently, they've lost, like the fiber one has lost over 14,000 subscribers, and also Starlink has like changed its price from 38,000 to 57,000 naira. That's like a huge gap. So as a result, many people are switching from ISPs, like ISPs, and internet service provider, to mobile network because it offers them flexible data plan. But for them to like maintain, or for them to like survive in Nigeria right now, they have to like change their data plan, come up with a better option. Like, okay, what can we do to like gain our subscribers back? What can we do to get our users back? Like, they can partner with solar people, they can partner with other people like that can provide them reliable in connection and all of that. Because if they keep increasing their tariff, their data plan, and if they keep like increasing it, many people move from mobile network from ISPs to mobile network. But looking at it, mobile network can only do minor tasks, can only like probably you want to like just browse on social media. But for the heavy tasks, like, okay, you want to like video call, you want to like for a remote worker now, you want to rely on the mobile network. Let's say your network is so bad and all of, you can't heavily rely on mobile network. Most companies are not relying on mobile networks to run their operations. Like, that is why they need to come up with a better plan for the betterment of everybody.
Yeah, I feel like majority of the people that would be able to use ISPs at this point are business owners. I'm not talking about all these, small business. I'm talking about big business that have access to solar system. And if I thought they would want to do this, like the increments you said Starlink did, it would make more sense. Let's say they're partnering with the PHCN in Nigeria, and then there's like, okay, there will be lights. Like, let's say we're having 24 hours light in a day. People would want to use it because, well, it benefits them. I can pay and have unlimited access to the internet throughout the day. But the fact that I have to pay that amount of money and then I still have to wait for electricity to still use it,
and the fact that I have to like install like equipment maintenance, like it's a whole lot.
I heard of someone who just got a router, and then it's cost about 100K, and then with that kind of situation, with the installation and all that, and you still do not have electricity to access it, it's a waste of resources, if I would say. But then let's say there's stable electricity in Nigeria, if the government can actually I think it would help them. But for now, if you know that you do not have stable electricity in the country, we're not in the UK, we're not in the US where you have light 24/7. So if you know that is not available in the country, why not reduce the price so that you can maintain the customers that you have and even have more? Because let's say if I can get the pay for that internet for say 20,000 on my phone, and then you're saying I should pay 50 something thousand naira,
like that's the whole like a difference is much
it's
from
huge
38,000 naira
to 58. So like if you want to retain people, I don't think the best thing that should be done is increase the money. So people would definitely feel like, why don't I just make use of my mobile phone and do whatever I want to do?
To the international news, President Trump issued letters to 14 countries, including Japan and South Korea, informing them that higher tariffs are planned for their exports, but with room to negotiate. The letters state that if these nations lift tariffs on U.S. goods and remove trade barriers, Trump will consider adjusting the rates. The higher tariffs takes effect from August 1, 2025, and notably will not combine with previously announced sectoral tariffs, such as those on automobiles, steel, and aluminium. Trump also announced plans for potential 10% tariff on countries supporting anti-American BRICS policies. He accused those nations of opposing U.S. interests during the recent BRICS summits.
First, you think giving extra time would help, right?
Yeah.
But in this case, it actually makes things worse. Here is why. When government, especially the US, announce tariff plans, businesses all over the world react quickly. They start shifting supply chains, adjusting prices, or even freezing investment until they know what's really happening. But when the deadline keeps changing, it's like telling everyone, hey, we might charge you more, or we might not, but maybe not soon, maybe later, we will see. This kind of back and forth creates a cloud of uncertainty. Companies didn't know if they could commit to deals, invest in equipment, or hire more people. Now, long-term decisions become difficult because the rules of the game might change next month. So I don't know if the rules is okay, we're doing this month,
Okay.
and then we're already like building businesses, we're already growing, and then the next month you're telling me that same policy that we made last month, it's not applicable this month again. Then what's going to happen to the business that I already made in order to align with the policy you made last month? Now, so instead of giving businesses time to adjust, it leaves them stuck in the limbo, making them conscious, and that slows down investment and growth.
Okay, to add to what you've said, imposing a 10% tariff on countries tied to anti-American BRICS policies could seriously strain diplomatic relations because the BRICS leaders have also dismissed being anti-American and warned that tariffs used as political tools are unhelpful. But when you look at the economic terms, this could push BRIC members to come up together to form alliance that let us trade with one another instead of depending majorly on US. And also, a major question is whether this new deadline will hold firm because pushing this tariff from July 9th to August 1 will actually create uncertainty, especially for countries depending heavily on their trade. Some countries actually depend heavily on trade to boost their economy in their countries. This deadline, we don't know maybe it will hold firm because we don't know maybe by July 30th, Trump is going to come up with another deadline. We've shifted this deadline to another deadline.
All right. I think to talk on what you just said, without knowing exact tariff rate or when they will apply, companies can't budget accurately, sign contract, or plan capital expenditure. Instead of providing clarity and stability, the extension creates uncertainty for market exporters and investors, which hurts business confidence and slows growth in countries that rely on trade.
Let's take a quick break, and when we return, we'll dive into the Nigeria's financial markets. Welcome back to MarketSquare. Before the break, we explore the latest development in Nigerian's banking, telecommunication, and US deadline extension. Now, let's turn our attention to Nigerian's financial markets. The Debt Management Office has unveiled the July offering of the Federal Government of Nigeria Savings Bond with an interest rate of 2-year Federal Government of Nigeria Savings Bond maturing on July 16, 2027 with an interest rate of 15.762% per annum, and the 3-year Federal Government of Nigeria Savings Bond with an interest rate of 16.762% per annum due July 16, 2028. Meanwhile, the Central Bank of Nigeria has announced its first Treasury bills primary market auction for the month. The auction will feature a total offer of 250 billion naira split across 3 standard tenors: 100 billion naira in 91-day bills, 20 billion naira in 182-day bills, and 130 billion naira in 364-day bills. In the corporate market, Champion Bureau PLC has launched its Series 1 and 2 commercial paper offer, targeting 10 billion naira under its 15 billion naira commercial paper insurance program. Fitting Healthcare PLC is offering up to 20 billion naira under its 50 billion naira commercial paper, while First City Monument Bank Limited, in association with FMDQ, is looking to raise 20 billion naira for Series 1 and 80 billion naira for Series 2 of its commercial paper under its 100 billion naira commercial issuance program.
Thank you for joining us on today's episode of Market Square. Do well to follow us on all our social media platforms at Veegil Media. And for more business content, subscribe to this YouTube channel.
I'm Olaitan Adibayo.
And I'm Olaitan Babatunde. Thanks for watching.